So the first cardinal responsibility is to love your wife. You can love every woman. The love you give to every woman can never be compared to the love you give to your wife. So the love for a wife is a love that is automatically demanded because you have paid the bride price and say you are my wife. And once she becomes your wife, it means you love her. So the things you do for her speaks about your love. It's not when you open your mouth and say, hi, honey, I love you. I love you. It's not what I'm saying. It's not the words. It's the duty. Why? Because she was in the father's house. The father was giving her shelter. The father was giving her security. The father was feeding her. The father was paying for her things. Utilities were paid by the father. She was enjoying a father's care, or she was taking care of herself. She was self-made. Everything about her was for her. She was buying her own dress. She was doing her own hair. She was buying her own spectacles. She was buying her own wristwatch. Immediately you came to marry her, you took over. That is how you show your love. Hello? So showing your love is exhibited not just in words, but it's in the duties. So when you love something, the Bible says that, and a man saw a field and loved the field, sold everything he had to buy the field. I love Bible. So when people are spending money on the field, they know what is in the soil. They know what the soil can give. So when a man loves something, he spends money on it. So what you don't love, you don't spend money on. You don't waste money on things you don't love. So if you don't love the woman you have brought as your wife, divorce her. Don't keep her. Because you can't be wasting money on something you don't love. And once you don't spend money on it, so you are spending money on her, you are showing everything that makes you know that you are a husband, and the responding at the other side is not coming. Divorce her. Don't keep her and let other people think that marriage is bad. Don't do that. So the principal duty of a man is to love your wife, and you are not loving her because she respects you. No. But by your duty, you pay a bride. Listen to me very carefully. When it is time for bride price payment, and then you share the cost of bride price with the woman you are going to get married to, that's the end. I've told you, let me repeat it. If you are watching me as a man and you're already married, kill yourself to provide for your wife. Is it? Kill yourself to provide for your wife. The killing yourself is not like telling you, stab yourself and die. I am repeating what the Bible says. The Bible says, and Adam, who was the wife, who was the husband to Eve. Bible says, and God said, the ground is cursed for your sake. It shall produce for you thorns. You will sweat before you will eat. When God told Adam this, then listen to what he told Eve. He says, and for you, Eve, for the rest of your life, your desire shall be for your husband. He shall rule over you. The question is that if this woman is going to depend on me, why do you curse the ground for my sake? Why do you say I will sweat before? Because that is the principle. So a man must sweat. A man must see thorns and thistles and go through it, not for himself, but for the wife. Kill yourself for your wife. So if you are watching me and you don't have what it takes, you can't feed yourself. You can't provide 3 square meals for yourself. You can't provide a befitting shelter. A single room is covered for a single person. It was built for a single person. If you cannot provide a befitting place for a wife that you are paying the bride price to live in, forget and be a single boy for the rest of your life. Be a boy. Because if you are not married and you are even 60 years, you are a boy. You are a boy. You are too much irresponsible in your thinking. You are not used in full. You are useless. The lesser your usage is what is being experienced when you are producing children and you have never married. Being a father is not the same as being a husband. So the duties I am talking about is about a husband, the roles of a husband. And I say your first thing is to love your wife. And one of the things that you exhibit your love in is taking care of the wife, paying for her things that she's running, because she has left the father's house and has become one with you. It's dangerous that a woman will leave the father's house and come and be sleeping in your house. A woman will stop eating the father's food and come and... You don't understand what I'm talking about as a man. If you are a husband, you understand what I'm saying here. You see, this is a girl who was living with the mother, and the mother was planning food for the family. All of a sudden, she's now metamorphosed and become something else. She's now doing the duties that the mother was doing. She's cooking now for you. She's no more... No woman cooks a diet for herself. Listen carefully. No woman does that. They cook for you. There is no woman who cooks what they desire to eat. Or baby and we are done con. On one they don't con. TMA. As a husband, you need to kill yourself for your wife, and that is the duty. It's part of your duties. Share the page. Share it. You need to kill yourself for your wife. And killing yourself for your wife is what I just explained to you. Number two, not just killing yourself. You need to provide shelter. That is the house I'm talking about. Look, if you're a young man watching me, don't move with somebody's daughter to go and sleep on the mat. The things the pastors are telling you, they are lies. Marriage is not a starter, it's a continuation. That is why when God, in his infinite mind, wanted, oh Jesus, I don't know why Bible is something else. God give me power, strength, liberty. We need that TV station. We need to teach people the things the pastors are telling you, that they will tell you. And yes, we are brabo dia sani shasi. Our dear, there many me ire shasi ni bebia ni da form ni eni mpakura ye daso ye da form sa en fear 3 years fear me and son na me ya dom obi tom pache. That is a wrong premise to start marriage. You are not a man. You are a boy. How do you marry somebody's daughter who was sleeping on the floor in the father's house? Somebody's daughter who was sleeping on a student mattress in the father's house. Somebody's daughter who was the last to sleep, the first to wake up, because they put a 3-in-1 in the 2-in-1, or put a 2-in-1 in the 3-in-1 and sleep in a sitting room, and were sleeping on the floor. They have some blanket. They will gather it and light on the floor and sleep on it. How do you marry her and bring her back again into your house and sleep on the floor? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you serious? You are not responsible. Somebody forced you to go and marry. If really you are ready to marry, you will never go and start marriage on lying on the floor. Stop the crap. And that's how marriage is. God's blessing is not this way. Stop lying to people. Don't lie to people. The reason why people are not interested in marriage, a young girl is lying on a mattress, a big mattress, her bed is as big as what? Then you marry her and you want her to come from her bed, to come and start from the floor. When she says no, you think it is pride. It is not pride, it is wisdom. Your pastor started on the floor, and so what? My father and my mother might start on the floor, but that is the error of their time. It shouldn't continue, because Adam did. No, listen, watch it here. When God created the garden, 10 years after solidifying everything, then he saw a need in the life of Adam, and that is when he brought Eve to Adam. So when Eve came into the garden, everything was blossom, everything was ready. There were animals that were serving Eve. Everything that Eve needed, there were things at his beck and call. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to enjoy the blessing from God, let your wife live in an heaven in your house. Create a heaven in your house for your wife. Don't create a heaven for yourself. Create a heaven in your house. You don't watch DSTV, understand. You don't watch some channels, understand. But your wife will love to watch it. Buy the channels for her. Buy it. I don't want internet. I don't stay home, so I don't need internet. Put 100 megabytes in your house. Let your wife use it. If at the end of the month she has no user, keep buying. What are we talking about? What are we saying? What are we talking about? You see, your love is not "I love you, girl." No. You're asking for 3 rounds. I told you yesterday, any woman that your husband is doing everything for you, and you are not doing what you are supposed to do to receive as a wife, you will be under a curse. So the Lord made the ground hard for me. I struggled to get 100 Ghana cedis. Not easy. But no woman on earth as a wife should struggle for 100 Ghana cedis. No way. No woman was created to struggle for 100 Ghana cedis. No woman. Whether married, single, once you are born a female, oh, Agbena, automatically there is a man that is supposed to provide for you. The ground was not made hard for you. God never cursed the ground for the sake of women. He cursed the ground for the sake of men. So men must sweat to feed their wife. Men must sweat to feed their family. Men must sweat to provide shelter. Men must sweat to make sure that women will enjoy. Hello? So that is the duty of a man. He is to provide shelter, feeding. A man is to pay for utility. Any man who shares utility with the wife is not qualified to be called a husband. He is disqualified. Because that is where you lose your blessing. Follow the protocol of God. Don't try it. The Bible says that, and in the cool of the day, God comes to have fellowship with Adam. What we are doing is fellowship. What was God doing? When Eve was created, Adam was sleeping. So the manual to manage Eve was not there. So every day of the time, God comes to call Adam and teaches Adam how to manage Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, when you follow the pattern of marriage the way it was created, the knowledge to manage your wife will come. The knowledge to manage your children will come. The knowledge to marry your wife. The first thing you need to manage in your life in marriage are not children. They are not assets. It's your wife. Your wife. Who made her your wife? She was somebody's daughter. She's a woman somewhere. Your duty, the first thing is to pay a bride price. Provide her that love. And in the love, let there be shelter. Let there be security. Let there be feeding. Never say some things are unnecessary in your house. There are men today who think things are not useful in their house. I know men who have decided to cut their cable. Yentia cable ni bio. Cable na mi tuya no bosumi bia no $100 na ya fa me so. There be a telephone bill $50. You are not happy that your telephone bill, your wife's telephone bill is paid by you. But look at you. You just went to the office and told them that, can you take away this number from my own? This is from Mrs. Lutrot, and I think she will be capable of paying for it for herself. So your wife is using a mobile phone. She is using credit, and the credit is not provided by you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Have you ever done mobile money for your wife before? Why you be that? What your credit am I? What to be? Now what to be? Phone probe to our dream. O yiri phone say na to be man. And na time yiri phone say no. What to be now sister? For the other man na for you are not serious. You are not serious. Me say unye serious. Unye serious. So you see, if you are not qualified to be a husband, don't start it. Why? Because our topic is how do we create interest for other people to love marriage, including your children in the marriage. You get what I'm saying? Your children in the marriage. So I'm saying it clear. They are providing shelter. Your responsibility or your duty as a husband is to provide security. Is to provide security. Yes, security. Corner the definition of security. Being secured. Feeling safe. Feeling protected. Your wife should have that ability. That when anything happens and they are making noise, please give me 1 minute. Let me talk to my husband. Oh my God. Give me 1 minute. Let me call my husband. Because I know that I have a husband that when he sees my phone number on his phone, nothing is more bigger. I feel sad for some wives and feel silly for some husbands. You are busy as who? Who are you talking to? Who is bigger than anybody else? That it is not the flimsy calls. And yet Jimmy calls be obi frel. But ye kasa no nim diaba. Ube huana yire fre, o yire fre. Hina na ne ni din komo. Nwanya kra na frel. Wo yire e frel wa wuntumi nya nyansa se. Ube ti ayem bi asem bi na ba. Bia ne care bi na ahwe ho. Bi obi na attacking. So the security of your wife is your first priority. How secure is your wife? When your wife is stranded, then when you were not married to her, the first point of call was the father, the mother. But now that you became a husband to somebody's daughter, but I'm saying that your wife calls you and you don't even think value the call. And some men are so stupid as husbands that they don't even return your call because they assume that the call you did, they know why you are calling. Because of Rebisa said, if maybe your wife is stranded and the first person you need to call when you are in trouble as a wife is your husband, not your pastor. Only foolish women talk to their pastor.